When I was a pastor, I had a lady in our church come by the house one day and knocked on the door. And I looked out past her at the door, and her car was parked, not in a parking place on the street, but just in the middle of the street. And her door was open, the driver's side. She was standing at my door. And I said, "What's going on, sister?" She said, "Well, I was woman enough to tell you my breakdown. I want to tell you my breakthrough. So today I want to talk to you about from breakdown to breakthrough." And this lady told me how after we had prayed for her on a Wednesday night, she went to the doctor, and the doctor found no cancer in her body whatsoever when she went through the testing and the evaluations and all of that. And she came to tell us the breakthrough. Well, she went out, and before she got into her car, she started dancing up and down the street. I can only imagine what it must have meant to her, because her joy meant the world to me. Wait, did I say joy? Well, since the joy of the Lord is strength, we have to have high levels of joy. If we want to see a manifestation of the promise of God and the manifestation of strength that turns any setback into a comeback, we've got to have high levels of joy. And when you're faced with a setback, examine the fellowship aspect of your relationship with God. Understand, a relationship with God means you're in the family. Fellowship means you communicate being in the family. You've got relatives you rarely talk to, as we all do. But then the others that we're close to, we talk to, we communicate with. So fellowship is when you talk to God and listen to Him and have communication with Him. Relationship means you're in the family. Good place to be. But again, you've got to work on the relationship. Yes, but the fellowship is what seals the relationship. Nehemiah wrote and said, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." Setbacks are really a part of life. They leave us disappointed, sometimes discouraged, and once in a while just get defeated over it. But as believers, we've got access to something way greater than circumstances. It's the joy of the Lord. Now, joy is not just a feeling. It's a spiritual force, absolutely unseen in the world, but it certainly manifests within the spirit that you carry deep within what we call your heart. It reminds us that even when things fall apart, God's still our unchanging God. Yes, He is. When we choose joy in the middle of a hardship, we tap into some divine strength that just sort of lifts us up and pushes us forward. It's something that happens inside us. We don't have to force it. Paul and Silas, great example. They were beaten and thrown into prison, but they they chose to sing of all things, and their joy, the spiritual force of joy, unlocked a miracle that turned their setback into a powerful comeback with the jailer and all of his house getting saved. Joy shifts our focus from what we lost to what God can still do. Take a look at that today. If you're set in the middle of a setback, it doesn't deny pain, that joy of the Lord. It declares that pain, won't have the final word in this. No, 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 no. Let's hold on to joy. It is the key to rising again. Maybe you needed this today. I hope so. If indeed this was something that really struck a note in your heart, why don't you leave me a comment today and go and find yourself some joy? Work on the fellowship because you have a relationship with God. Yeah, that fellowship can strengthen you for the journey ahead. God bless you. Have a great day. And remember, no one succeeds alone.